somebody will put it in play for the Horned Frogs. TCU will have a size advantage at the net, and we see it in play early here with a couple of quick blocks. Almost a mistake by the Horned Frogs. Becca Kelly able to get it over. And the first point belongs to the Cowgirls. Paige Ladderweiser with the kill.
And Paige Ladderweiser, one of those players we talked about just at the beginning of the match here. You can see she really finds that seam and the triple block against TCU there. So lots of experience. She's a junior outside hitter for Wyoming, and she knows where to put the ball.
She had 18 kills earlier today against Missouri, and TCU comes right back to even things up on the kill by Samara Coleman, who had 19 kills, hit .457 last night against A&M. Picks up right where she left off.
Oh yeah, and to come back and to be able to, step foot on the floor again, all the routine that goes into a game day. These Horned Frogs are doing it again, and Wyoming is doing it just a few hours after their game against Missouri earlier today.
I'm amazed that they're able to come back on such a short rest period.
Oh yeah, and I mean one thing we're not looking at is the whole routine before the game. They come out, they do a little bit of a serve and pass, they go back in the locker room, they talk to the coaches, they probably had video today. I mean, there's so much.
Sarah Sylvester just had to bump that over as the set was kind of behind her. Back to Ladderweiser on the outside. Becca Kelly, the cross-court kill.
And Becca Kelly, we're used to seeing her on the left side of the court for the Horned Frogs, playing more angle coming into the ball. She did that beautifully there. Picks
up an ace here on the serve, her second ace of the year.
And serving has definitely been the topic of any conversation. If you talk to Coach Williams, they've put a lot of work in the practice gym on tough serves, and that proved to work for them last night against A&M.
Blocked by Sarah Sylvester. TCU sets the outside. Henricks able to get it over. And again, Ladderweiser with the swing. This time she's able to tool it off the block, and it's a point for the Cowgirls.
But Ladderweiser, go-to outside hitter, getting the ball right away. I think the Cowgirls are looking to get Ladderweiser kind of in her rhythm. She's one of those upperclassmen players for Wyoming that's going to be leading the team. So definitely a player that they're going to want to be hot. And you can see here she's taking another opportunity, but the TCU block, one of the best in the nation, I'd say right now. Sarah Sylvester being one of those with her defensive player of the week.
Sylvester, great night last night at the net as well. Overpass, and Sylvester puts it straight down. Last night in the final set, in the 5th set of the match against Texas A&M, Sarah Sylvester, one of the captains, really came up big for TCU with the way she was able to block.
Right, so she finished with, I think, about 11 blocks, and, her job as a middle, obviously, it's in the name, is to be a great blocker. She's contributing, though, on all aspects. I mean, her offense has really lit up, I think, this year, too. So really stepping up to the plate, with the absence of Jalen Gibson, who is the captain I don't know how we want to put that, but with Jalen Gibson unable to compete for the rest of the season, the team did nominate Sarah Sylvester as the court captain.
Got a good look there at Jalen Gibson, who'll be back next year for the Horned Frogs. Great cross-court kill from the 10-foot line that time by the Horned Frogs.
And Samara Coleman is another one of those breakthrough players on the court right now, hitting that tight ball. You can see there, something about Samara Coleman, though, she has that all-around game, and that's really such a huge deal for TCU, just having that ball control, the aggressive swings, and a great serve as well.
Second ace of the match for the Horned Frogs, this time by Rosemary Archer. That's her 5th of the season.
And jump float serve right between the two cowgirl passers, you know, and the coaches are calling out the zones on the court for Archer to serve.
Another ace for TCU. Wyoming unable to keep that.
Priggy, you know, the different teams, different conferences.
Archer again with a great serve.
You know, we talked to Coach Williams before this match, and, you know, obviously talking about a win that was less than, you know, 24 hours ago. And, hey, what's the bounce back like? Like, what are you working on tonight? What's, you know, in my eyes, last night's match was almost perfect. And Coach Williams still said, our serve, we're still going to turn up our serve a notch. I think we can be better. I think we are actually at 70% right now of our ability in all aspects of the game.
Archer with 3 straight aces prior to that. Point for the Cowgirls. Claire Wagstaff with the kill and service error by Wyoming. Maddie Stuckey, redshirt freshman out of Laramie, Wyoming, with that last service error. That one comes up short.
And, you know, one thing I was Chuck and I were talking about in the break is, you know, as an ex-player, I always get that knot in my stomach when the level is a little bit mismatched, you know. So we're looking at TCU, you know, coming off all these ranked wins, and Wyoming, a different level, right? So a knot in your stomach as a player of, hey, I got to keep my level. I've got to stay focused, play. The Horned Frogs need to stay on their side of the net, play their pace, and let Wyoming play their game. And, you know, that is the big challenge that we're going to see tonight here.
Volpe with a great dig for the Horned Frogs. Murphy got it over, the block set up by TCU, and that was a combination there of Murphy at the net and Alexa Roberson.
And, you know, talk about a big block here. And it's really Murphy, that outside hand, her right hand, she was just lined up so well on the ball there, and she really took away any opportunity to really tool the block there.
Murphy, the transfer from Ohio State, originally from Round Rock, has the serve for the Horned Frogs. Quick set in the middle, and Roberson comes up a little short on that swing.
And a big block, too, by number 6, Reese Wilburn, for the Cowgirls. So really just getting in front of Roberson, lining up on her shoulder. And, you know, that quick hit, you can see it's barely across the net there. Roberson doesn't have a whole lot of room to work with, but hey, Reese Wilburn is on it.
Kelly had it dug out. 50-50 ball won by TCU, but kept alive by Wyoming. Back row attack from Evan Hendricks. Hendricks again. This time she's able to score.
And Hendricks in a 1-against-1 situation with that back row attack. Something TCU definitely wants to keep working on. You can see here, Hendricks is jumping behind the 10-foot line. She's able to get a nice approach on the ball. It's a really perfect scenario with that 1-against-1 situation.
Good elevation and hang time by Evan Hendricks, just a sophomore out of Scottsdale. Lost the block, TCU keeps it alive. Becca Kelly had it blocked nicely in the middle that time. Sarah Holcomb for Wyoming, the senior from just up the road here in Dallas. She went to Plano East High School, comes up with a big block.
Right, and closing the block there, you can see at the last second, and just ending with her hands into the court. So beautifully done there by the Cowgirl blockers.
And back-to-back blocks for Wyoming. Addie Cook and Evelyn Odizaway. It looked like it was Cook who got it all.
And that must feel good. I mean, Addie Cook had her whole hand on the ball there, you know, against a big hitter like Coleman. Lots of power behind that swing.
Becca Kelly with the big swing. Wyoming able to dig it out. Sarah Sylvester in the middle for the Horned Frogs. Second kill for Sylvester tonight.
And, you know, something to notice here, Ella Foddy, the setter that you see there dishing the ball to Sylvester, she really gives a nice height on the ball for Sylvester. You know, as a middle with good size like Sylvester, if the ball is not high enough, there's no way you have any opportunity.
Hendricks able to find some room deep for the kill. It's a big swing again by Hendricks.
And I think despite the score, you know, TCU has a nice lead here. I think Evan Hendricks is still trying to rally her team to kind of bring some energy. You know, she's saying, let's go. You know, they want to get that rhythm. It's way easier to play when everybody on the court is kind of on the same page and has the same energy.
Another race for the...
Remember someone named Melanie Parra who played for the Horned Frogs last year. So this is that same type of serve with the toss and then the top spin swing, as opposed to the float.
Jason Williams telling us that they worked all spring with Samara on that serve. She had the jump serve, but it was kind of a float serve, and they wanted to get more like Melanie with that top spin power behind it, and she certainly...
With middle blockers, they'll say, hey, on this player, you're going to take away, you know, her angle or her line. You're going to jump to your left or your right.
Dug out by TCU. Trying to go cross court with that shot was Addie Cook. Cut it a little too sharply. Side out, Horned Frogs.
You know, and Coach Prigge for the Cowgirls, she talked a lot about the young team she has, you know, and here Addie Cook, she's a freshman, you know, playing against, you know, a highly ranked team, high-level volleyball. There's a lot that goes into that, you know, being a freshman, coming out, taking big swings against a big block. Lots of homework to do.
Another ace for the Horned Frogs. Samara Coleman again.
And take a look here. She jumps up, and it's like she's taking a swing on the ball, like she's attacking the ball. So that's that hybrid swing. You can see there it lands at the no man's land right on that end line.
Clips the tape. Volpe with a nice dig for TCU. Coming up short on the other side was Michaela Young, who's into the match. Jason Williams was hoping that he would be able to get a few more players into tonight's match, and he's been able to do it early in this one.
Well, yeah, and talk about, you know, freshmen coming on the court. Michaela Young is a redshirt freshman, but, you know, getting this experience, it's, you know, it's tough to come in, you know, and kind of get the nerves out. There's not a whole lot of time when it's 20-9. You've got 5 points, right, to kind of show your stuff. And but absolutely a great time to get some players that we know aren't used to seeing on the court.
Blocked by TCU again. You know, back to the outside. And again, Loudeweiser with the shot. She had it blocked again, and it falls just outside the line.
And that was definitely Loudeweiser's intention there, is to just do the push and wipe technique, really use the TCU blocker. You can see how she kind of just sweeps it on out, and so that's the intention. Very smart play there. That's a veteran move if there's one.
Blocked by TCU. Sylvester again with the block. Swatted over. Fody dug it out for TCU. Good rally by both teams here. Volpe. Becca Kelly just kind of bats it over with her forearm. Much better set that time for Kelly, and she's able to score.
And you got to look at Becca Kelly and her footwork here. So many transitions in that rally. You know, doing a great job of just kind of making do. She had a tough set to get over before that from Volpe, but this time she really gets to capitalize on the swing she loves. You know, her natural swing down the line.
Mackenzie Berg, another freshman from Midlothian, will come into the match for the first time. There's Becca Kelly, and there's Berg. There's Kelly with the serve. Quick set in the middle. Kelly trying to track that one down, got a piece of it. Unable to keep it off the floor.
And we haven't talked a lot about, for the Cowgirls, Udezaway. So Evelyn Udezaway, you know, middle blocker. She's a redshirt sophomore, but, you know, she's the one that just had kind of that tip kill. Another player to kind of keep an eye on over on the Cowgirls side.
Go to the outside. That one is off the block, but out of bounds. Michaela Young with her first kill of the match.
You know, and I like the decision here. I think she wasn't able to take a swing on the ball. And instead of making an error and just taking a big swing, she tries something different. So I would have to say, you know, really good for a freshman. You know, the push and wipe thing is something you see normally with veterans.
Archer sets the middle and kill for the Horned Frogs.
And nice to see Robertson get on the stat sheet here. She hasn't gotten the ball a lot, you know, but I think just getting those middles involved always just creates a better offense all across the board.
Rosemary Archer comes up short with the serve. Talk about nice job by the Horned Frogs. That's their third service error, but 6 aces. And if you go 50-50 or better, you're doing a good job at the service line. TCU well ahead of that pace right now. Nicely done at the net that time by Wyoming. There for the block was Claire Wagstaff, the sophomore from Fort Collins, Colorado. Right down the road from where you live.
That's right. Yep, Steamboat Springs is just over the mountain range there.
Big swing on the outside. Mackenzie Berg. Her first kill.
And I think that time Berg, she got a more comfortable set. So there's a little more height on there. You can see how she's fully extended. You know, and at 6'2" plus her leap, you know, it looks like she's a little bit more comfortable unleashing on that one.
Had a system ball for Wyoming, and TCU able to get it over just barely, and they score. Well, that wasn't pretty, but the result was good. It'll be set point for the Horned Frogs. Well, check that. It was set point.
You know, I think there was a discrepancy there with her.
Sarah Quigley, the freshman from McKinney, went to Boyd High School with the serve, and the first point belongs to TCU as that ball was touched at the net. Attack arrow.
And I think Sarah Sylvester is surprised on that one. You know, that's something too. The setter middle connection. That's a constant effort to create a really nice connection with those setters and middles. Get them in the game.
Blocked by TCU. And again blocked by TCU, and Sarah Sylvester with another block, her fourth.
And you know, from the angle where we're sitting, we're on the opposite side of where Sylvester is, and that was an actual roof scenario. I mean, Sylvester was up and over, and you can see there, you know, kind of like made her wrist snap almost to actually make a roof. There's a reason why there's a cheer.
Big swing and the kill by Wyoming. Addie Cook with the kill.
And I think Addie Cook is someone that, you know, as we see her get in her rhythm, we're going to see more of this. A nice deep angle swing. Alice Volpe, the libero for Horned Frogs, just got it a little bit late.
Set to the outside for Hendricks. They go right back to Hendricks, and Hendricks able to put enough power behind it that Wyoming could not keep the ball in play.
And something that still amazes me, you see where setter Rosemary Archer is standing. She's off the net and still running that quick set out to Evan Hendricks. You know, that's something back in my day when I played, that would have been like a loopy high set. You'd have a block already camping out waiting for you.
Down the line, Paige Louderweiser. With another kill.
And a beautiful job here of just staying behind the ball, so that bump set from the Cowgirl libero, and Louderweiser just stays behind it. She's able to get a good look at where she wants to place the ball.
Off the antenna. A point for Wyoming. Off the attack error by Evan Hendricks.
And, you know, out of system here, Evan Hendricks just caught it, you know, wide set, and I think she kind of lost the ball, actually, didn't know where she was swinging.
Wyoming with the block. Addie Cook getting up there and getting the block.
And, you know, I'm liking this swing block motion here by Addie Cook. You can see how she doesn't fly in the air. She swing blocks. She stays straight up and down. You know, you don't want that kind of windshield wiper movement when you look at these blockers up here.
Skylar Erickson with the service error. The 40 serve for the Horned Frogs. On the overpass, Robinson right there to put it down.
And that all starts with Ella Foti with that aggressive serve. And you can see there, it just drops almost on the sideline. Wyoming unable to handle it, and then Robertson just taking care of business.
Again, good serve by Foti this time. Wyoming able to get it over. They go to the outside. Hendricks cross court. Kill attempt, but wide. Trying to cut a pretty sharp angle there.
And, you know, I really think Evan Hendricks is getting these out-of-system sets. You can see, again, where Foti is setting. She's outside the 10-foot line, excuse me. And Hendricks is trying to have to figure it out. So, you know, those are those out-of-system sets that they're risky. We've just seen a few errors from Hendricks on the last two.
Somehow Wyoming kept that ball off the floor. Quick set in the middle, Roberson. TCU with the block, and that one tooled off the block out of bounds. So it's point for Wyoming, and Cowgirls playing much better here in the second set.
And really, I think it's been led by their block. I really think that they've tightened it up. They're lining up well, you know, and then you can see here this execution by Louderweiser. She loves that block out, whether it's the push and wipe or the swing.
5 blocks for Wyoming, coming right back. Evan Hendricks for TCU. Her 4th kill ties her with Sarah Sylvester.
And I think Hendricks definitely looking to get in a rhythm here. Another out-of-system swing. So out of the last 4 swings, 3 of them have been out of system. So not an easy situation to be in to feel in rhythm.
Hendricks with the serve. Louderweiser got it over. They go back to the outside, and that is pushed over for the point by Claire Wagstaff.
And that's something that I think that was planned. I think she could have swung on that ball, but she used her IQ there. She got it in that kind of campfire area of the court. A lot of people have different names. The donut, the campfire, the open area in the middle of the court. Translation. It's always fun to hear what different teams call that area on the court.
Lauren Murphy comes right back for the Horned Frogs. Murphy had 13 kills last night.
And it always amazes me how Murphy can get her arm up just in time to get a nice snap on it. It almost looks like she's not going to get up and get a nice high swing, but she has such a quick backswing that she can really get on top of the ball.
Murphy with the serve. Off the block. TCU a little late getting the block up. Becca Kelly was over in the vicinity. Couldn't close it quick enough, though.
You know, and really, I think Wagstaff is just intentionally using the block. I think this might have been something talked about with Coach in the timeout.
This time Kelly scores from the middle.
And, you know, I think this is an in-system play. So whenever you see that one blocker against the hitter, yeah, that tells you it's in-system. I mean, that means the setter had every option, and she chose to set in that instance Becca Kelly, and she was able to capitalize on that one.
Rosemary Archer, who had a run of 3 straight aces from the service line in the first set. This time it's Wyoming who comes away with the point on the mistake by the Horned Frogs.
And so you're taking a look there. It was definitely a net call. Usually you can see the net kind of moving from our vision, but the ref saw something we didn't. Again.
It's not unusual. Wyoming with a 2-point lead off of that swing.
System plays, so again, Archer is out of system. She's setting from outside that 10-foot line. Difficult to score on.
Becca Kelly, that last attack error for the Horned Frogs. Cross-court kill. Addie Cook. Jason Williams liking what he's seeing right now from his team.
It's crisp on the ball.
And here in the second set, we haven't seen as many big swings from the Horned Frogs as we did in set number 1. Wyoming able to get it over on the third hit. Back row attack from Hendricks, and she sends it long. And those are mistakes TC wasn't making in the first set.
Yeah, and it's tough as an attacker, you know, to make error after error, and then but you still want to go hard and take aggressive swings. I think when attackers start to take a little bit off of it, that's when they start to make errors. So it's, you know, that's why it's always nice to hear, just go for it, you know, we'll cover you, things like that.
4-0 scoring run for the Cowgirls. Becca Kelly on the outside. And Wyoming with another point. 5-0 run for the Cowgirls. Sarah Holcomb, the senior from Plano East.
And I have to say, no better time to throw over the second ball on that. I mean, TCU defense was nowhere near that. No way they were expecting that ball.
Blocked at the net on that swing by Becca Kelly. Addie Cook adding to her block total. She's got 4.
And it almost looks like the Cowgirls are how the Horned Frogs were in the first set. Strong at the net, a lot of blocks. You know, I think just Cowgirls are super dialed in right now and excited about the lead they have.
Hendricks just has to tip it over. And a net violation against Wyoming.
And something that maybe Coach Williams talked about in his last timeout is, hey, let's let them make the errors. And that's actually something he spoke to us about before the match too, is, hey, if we let the other team, if we let the Cowgirls make the errors and we take care of our side, you know, I think we're going to be okay. So it's something they're kind of taking off a little bit of heat on their offense, letting the other team make the mistakes.
Becca Kelly at the net for TCU.
And here the emphasis on defense. So Becca Kelly super strong in her block, and you can see the footwork there. So lined up beautifully with the attacker, makes it an easy block for her.
Tough serve to handle by Samara Coleman. TCU able to get it over the 50-50 ball, won by TCU. There's the set for to the outside for Evan Hendricks.
And Evan Hendricks getting an in-system fastball like she's used to seeing, like she likes. She's able to do something with it. She's able to be closer to the net and use the block in that one. Really unleash on that ball.
5 kills for her. TCU on a run here, trying to get back in this second set. Volpe after the overpass, digging it out. Becca Kelly again off the block.
And I really like that decision by Rosemary Archer to go back to Becca Kelly and give her a nice situation where she has plenty of time, and that time she sees the block, the Cowgirl block drifting that time. Cook not as solid as she was for her previous 2 blocks.
And again, it's Samara Coleman, the freshman, doing a great job at the service line. Another block by TCU, but Wyoming able to get it over. Volpe with the bump set. And that's just a little bit long. Not necessarily a bad idea that time by Hendricks. She saw a lot of open room deep down the line, just couldn't keep it in.
And you know, that you can tell that's something that Coach Williams and her talked about in the timeout, is that corner is wide open. She barely missed it there. You know, so stuff that you can tell TCU is trying to make some tweaks here, some changes.
Quick set to the outside, and there's Hendricks. Boy, that was a fast set.
And that's TCU's offense, that in-system, lightning fast offense. And that's something last night against Texas A&M, I think the whole entire match, they were able to play their style of volleyball. We haven't seen a lot of it here, though.
Jalen Clark rotates in for TCU. Volpe will serve. Side out. She's trying to go down the line that time. Was Lauderhauser. Lauderwasser, rather.
And you can see here, again, trying to use that deep corner shot. So both teams recognizing that it's open and just missing by a hair.
Service ace for Volpe and the Frogs.
The 10-foot line, yeah. Yeah.
Quick set in the middle. That breaks the scoring run. Nice swing that time by Sarah Holcomb. I would imagine she's got a few fans in the stands here, being from the other side of the Metroplex.
And that nice just back quick there. I love that connection there. She hit inside the 10-foot line.
Just pushed over by Hendricks. TCU had the block set up perfectly that time. Go back to Hendricks. That one off the block, out of bounds, so point for the Horned Frogs.
And that was the hang and bang swing by Hendricks. So she has such a just amazing hang time. Her vertical leap is outstanding, but she hangs in the air, and then the blockers are coming down by the time she swings. So that's exactly what happened. The Wyoming block was there. They just were not pressed over and coming down by the time the swing was made.
Backside set for Wyoming. TCU goes back to Hendricks. Both teams doing a nice job at the net here. Roberson swatted over by Wyoming as they kept it off the floor. Trying to go deep is Hendricks, but a little too strong. Maddie Stuckey, redshirt freshman from Laramie, with the serve. Murphy with a swing for the Horned Frogs. They go right back to the outside, and Murphy goes down the line for the kill. Lauren Murphy 13 kills last night. And she's got 2 so far this evening.
And she sees the opening. I think it's something that the whole TCU offense is trying to tag, is that corner, that deep corner on the Wyoming side.
That one clipped to tape. Backside set. TCU able to keep that one off the floor. Wyoming doing a nice job of batting it over. Cross-court kill, Lauren Murphy, back-to-back kills for her. This one coming from the right side.
And something about Lauren Murphy, I spoke about it earlier. You see how she's open and she's waiting and she's able to just completely kind of come over the ball. I think that's where she gets all of her power from.
Hendricks with the serve for TCU. Coming right back. Paige Lauderweiser.
And just a fluid swing, actually, by Lauderweiser. I mean, you can see here, she has a big opening down the line. That's like a bounce the ball type of swing. Those ones feel good.
And she'll step back to the service line here. And picks up an ace.
And this is a critical time right now for the Horned Frogs and for Wyoming. I mean, so 19-18 up. A little bit of serve-receive trouble for the Horned Frogs. If they want to get out of this, they've got to pass the ball perfectly.
Service error. That last one, it looked like Coleman was like kind of caught in between. It was right at her. She wasn't sure whether to step left or right to receive the ball.
Definitely tough serving by Wyoming.
Murphy to serve for TCU. Tough ball to handle. Wyoming able to get it over. Becca Kelly.
And you see the difference in the swing from Becca Kelly now as opposed to Becca Kelly, you know, off the net, out of system, not a whole lot of approach. So TCU in system with good ball control, good passes. I mean, look at their offense. It's unstoppable.
Again, it's Murphy. Quick set in the middle. Kelly. Coleman able to get it over. Tried to cut it cross court, or maybe get it off the hands of one of the TCU blockers. It looked like she was playing it high, but it's an attack error on Cypress, Texas. Murphy with the serve for the Horned Frogs. Off the net, kept alive by Wyoming. Becca Kelly with the dig, backside set for Coleman. That ball comes up short. Well, that wasn't the prettiest of points, but effective as TCU is now on a 4-0 scoring run and a chance to close out this set with Lauren Murphy at the service line.
You know, TCU playing it safe if they're not in a perfect hitting situation, and I really think Wyoming is just continuing to be scrappy on defense.
Short ball served by Murphy. Coleman dug out nicely by the Cowgirls. And there's a kill in the middle by Alexis Roberson. Roberson doesn't score a lot of points, but she seems to come up with a big kill when TCU needs it.
Oh, and you know, when she's given the ball and when she is put in a good scenario like this, so she's 1 against 1, and it's at the height that she wants. I think that's the main thing, is when the setter can connect with her, she really produces. And I think that's one of the things Coach Williams, he said, yeah, they need to keep working with Sylvester and Robertson and the setters to really just perfect their connection.
Service error by TCU. That breaks the scoring run for the Horned Frogs. Becca Kelly, big swing and no chance for Odie.
And Becca Kelly definitely has the heavy arm, but I love this change in pace here. So she waits a little bit longer this time on that out-of-system set, and then she comes into it and explodes, and you can see the result there. Just so much more power and a point, obviously.
Odie Desway really had no chance. It was right at her. TCU serving for the set here. Set point, Volpe with a great dig, but the overpass and the kill by Wyoming. And it's 24-21 TCU to be set point number 2 for the Horned Frogs.
And you know, I think Claire Wagstaff was just like, oh, perfect, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Add that to the stat sheet.
She did a nice job of kind of making sure she was lined up and not just swinging at it. Sometimes you see people come up short.
Oh yeah, it's harder than it looks.
Pushed over by the Horned Frogs. Blocked by TCU, kept alive by Wyoming. Kelly goes for the tip, and TCU will win the second set as that ball's off the antenna, and the Horned Frogs, who were down early, able to come back and win the second set 25-21. They lead it 2-0. We'll take a timeout. Come back with the third set right after this.
And then learn how to get out of it.
TCU will serve first. Ella Foti with the serve for the Horned Frogs. Attack error by Wyoming to start the set.
And for TCU, just tough serves, and if Wyoming is unable to respond, there you go. That's the easiest way, and that's the step one to going off to a good start.
Service ace for the Horned Frogs. They've been really good at the service line tonight. That's ace number 8 for TCU.
You know, and I really think Ella Foti is such an asset to this TCU team. She came from Pepperdine Marquette before that as a outside hitter, and then played beach volleyball at Pepperdine for their threes team, so, you know, not too shabby, and then coming to TCU and being a setter. I don't know.
Just tells you she's a good volleyball player.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So to have that those all-around skills.
Sarah Holcomb with the kill for Wyoming. Foti sets the outside. Kelly with the Horned Frogs, and a great job of recognizing the block and then just swatting the ball in the other direction that time by Lauderwasser.
And that is an area on the court that is probably one of the most difficult areas to dig. I mean, you can see Samara Coleman is doing her job. She's off the net. She's ready to dig. To turn and dig that ball, not a lot of people are doing that.
Becca Kelly returns the favor. Comes up with a cross-court kill. Kelly now with 8, tying her with Evan Hendricks for the team lead so far tonight.
And I really appreciate Becca Kelly and her patience, I guess. I think, you know, if anybody watched last year, Becca Kelly had some growing to do, and now she's a little bit more seasoned, and you can just tell she's so composed out there.
Of course, her sister, one of the best middles in the country.
They're just living volleyball over in that household.
Yes.
Love to be a fly on the wall on that.
Thanksgiving must be interesting.
If they're mad at each other, they just go out and pepper. Like, what do they do? You know, go out in the backyard.
Desaway with the kill that time for Wyoming. Maddie Stuckey, the left-handed serve. Hendricks. Set was a little bit too far in front of her. And that one off the block. Side out, Wyoming.
And really nice work by Loudweiser in that entire rally. So she had a few sets given to her. She did a good job of just keeping the ball. And then when she had her opportunity, she took a big swing. I mean, I think at this point she knows the blockers in front of her. And, you know, TCU's solid block, but really nicely done by Loudweiser.
Loudweiser with 7 kills tonight. She had 18 against Mizzou earlier today. Her best outing of the year, 15 earlier against Tulsa. As we take another look at the kill by Hendricks for the Horned Frogs.
You know, I think the offense for TCU right now is just is really kind of coming together to what everyone saw last night against Texas A&M. Running that faster offense, passing is closer to the net inside that 10-foot line, and giving the setters something to work with and options. You know, not only having to set one player.
Desaway with the kill. Loudweiser with the serve. Hendricks had it blocked. Wyoming's done a nice job of setting the block up against Evan Hendricks along that left side of the TCU attack. Hendricks again, and again the block was there. The Cowgirls anticipating that TCU is going to try to work that left side and go to Hendricks. Good rally by both teams here. And Murphy with the kill for the Horned Frogs. Lauren Murphy, her 4th.
Incredible discipline by Ella Foti and Lauren Murphy. So Ella Foti able to reverse that set. And Murphy making sure that she's transitioning so that she puts herself in a situation to see the court and take a normal swing.
Get a good look at Murphy there as TCU will serve. Rosemary Archer. Nice job by Sarah Sylvester. The first attempt there was blocked, and then she came right back quickly.
Yeah, not a lot of time to really load her legs or anything. Just had a joust situation and then like a one step and a high swing.
Service error by Archer. She comes up short. Fifth service error for the Horned Frogs. Desaway will serve. Volpe kept it off the floor. Murphy just had to bump it on over. And Evan Williams with the kill. And again, a nice job by Archer.
You know, something about that swing is just the finesse. I mean, I think Hendricks, just her athleticism, again, she's transitioning, she's in a good situation, but she sees the court really well. She really does, and she just kind of finesses it in. It's a beautiful swing.
Hendricks, a little long with the serve. You know, one of the things that TCU's really done well with this year is their setters have been really distributing the ball to just about everyone.
Well, and the setters have a lot of options. I think, you know, a little bit different look compared to last year with Melanie Parra, you know, and then Jalen Gibson too. But this year it's, you know, with Jalen Gibson out, you know, having to take a different approach to offense.
Footfall by Wyoming. Player was underneath the net. Lauren Murphy will serve. The Horned Frogs will have to come back early tomorrow morning, as the first game is at 11 o'clock here in Fort Worth. They'll be in the gym pretty early in the morning.
Well, and that's after being in the gym. I think most of the players went home or went to bed at 11 p.m. last night after the Texas A&M game, and then they've got tonight, and then they've quick turnaround in the morning, and then another match tomorrow night.
That's right. So sure if you're Jason Williams or the team, they're like, let's try to get this done in 3 sets.
Well, yeah, I mean and more time to recover, and again, doing the whole pregame routine. It is definitely a routine, and it makes you mentally tired a little bit, because everyone has their thing that they do, to prepare for a game, and to keep doing that, and then the focus and all the prep work, and the coaches as well. I mean, that's their job, right? To prepare them. So
they don't get much sleep either.
Oh yeah. Jason Williams has plenty of tea to keep him awake. He definitely.
We were laughing before the match. We'll tell you the story here in a second, but Becca Kelly with the big swing. We're talking to Jason Williams before the match as Kelly picks up her 9th kill of the match. And he said, you just call me the chicken tender. And we're like, what?
I've never heard that, yeah.
Here's the swing by Becca Kelly.
So Becca Kelly turned the ball into a chicken tender right now. That makes sense to me. But Jason Williams' comment didn't. But Chuck, you can explain it, because
He's got 17 chickens now that he's raising for eggs in his backyard. So he said he's enjoying that as a hobby.
But like 17. So just think about that. 17, not like 4 or 5.
And he's done portraits with them. He showed us a portrait of his chickens. So yeah, he's got something to keep him busy when he's not on the volleyball court.
I expect a dozen eggs for myself, because Anyways, back to volleyball and quick sets and 10-foot lines. So that's that red line. We talked about it earlier. It's a 10-foot line. And usually middles hit inside line. And that is a difficult ball to defend, most certainly.
That's set behind Becca Kelly. She couldn't get to it.
And really here, I think Fody was trying to kind of save the ball a little bit. And I think Becca Kelly was expecting just a quicker set. And then she was in front of it.
That ball just inside the red line. Samara Coleman.
And actually, yeah, go ahead.
She's just been quiet over the last couple of sets.
Right, and but I think, so that area of the court, absolutely untouchable. I don't think she expected to do that, but I think it's something they've been working on. From the right side of the court, I think Coach Williams is really emphasizing, hey, our hitters, we've got to be better from the right side.
Volpe with a great dig. 50-50 ball won at the net by Addie Cook.
And how about the big swing by Paige Lauderweiser to just create that entire rally right there. So putting a lot of heat on the ball there by Lauderweiser. Volpe unable to control it. And then Hendricks trying to kind of save the ball there. But I think Addie Cook did a great job just doing her job, being at the net, taking care.
Maddie Stuckey with the serve. Tough ball to handle for TCU. Hendricks punches it over. Some substitutions on this rotation by TCU, and the Frogs scores. Becca Kelly picks up her 10th kill of the match.
Good recognition by Becca Kelly on that play. So I think she was coming in lightning fast. She kind of had to take a step, pause, and she had to just roll the ball in. But a good kind of mental switch there, going fast to slowing it down and making a smart play.
Quick set in the middle. Hendricks on the slide. Murphy off the block and hit the antenna. A point for the Horned Frogs. Lauren Murphy with 5 kills.
And I've said this before, I don't know how she does this, really, because the ball is kind of flat and fast and has to cross her body, and somehow her arm is up and needs to take a big swing. She does it so well. I think it's, as a blocker, it's really hard to block. She's hard to read, Lauren Murphy.
Emily Van Groningen transfer from Pacific in the match. Got a hand on that ball, but TCU unable to keep it off the floor. Great block by TCU. They close that thing tight.
And really nice work by Emily Van Groningen, you know, coming in the middle blocker and, you know, running this offense. The TCU, they do this, the setter for middle substitution. So what that is, you know, when they can inside out, they've got, you'll see outside hitters hitting a quick in the middle. You'll see middles hitting on the outside. But yeah, props to Van Groningen for kind of adapting.
Volpe kept it off the floor. Henricks with a big swing. Great save by TCU, and Murphy finishes it off, but that really was Rosemary Archer keeping that ball. Sylvester combining on the block. Archer again with the serve. 50-50 ball won by Sylvester, and TCU on a 4-0 scoring run.
And, you know, it starts with that Rosemary Archer serve and the control by Wyoming. So this time, not really able to keep that pass off the net. Setter Maddie Stuckey is kind of forced to try to save that. And that leads to that play there.
Off the tape. And a big swing in the middle, and a nice job that time to save that by Wyoming, and then the kill by Odizaway.
I think that's what they wanted to do the play before that we saw, but same exact play, kind of a tight set. Stuckey saves the ball. Odizaway is just flying in the air and able to make a great, powerful swing.
North Parks come right back. Pick up the point.
And it's a little bit of a back and forth right now. You know, I think TCU is delivering offensively, and then Wyoming, when they get that pass inside the 10-foot line, they're also able to run their offense and be effective. Right now, they're probably looking to get the ball to the middle when they can. They've been quite successful there.
A lot of height on the front line right now for TCU as Berg checks in. Volpe kept it off the deck, and there's the block by Wyoming. Nice job by the Cowgirls. Holcomb with the block.
And, you know, Holcomb at this point, the senior, she's on autopilot. She's two big swings in that rally, and then finishing with that stuff block. So she nods her head. You know, she's back in her rhythm, and she knows it.
Blocks are even now, 8 apiece. Some miscommunication on the back line by TCU. Volpe and Henricks both going for that ball. Service ace. Just the second of the night. There's been a difference, that's been it at the service line. Sylvester out of the middle. Sarah Sylvester having a nice night. 8 kills for her now. And going back to the service. 8 aces for TCU and just the 2 for Wyoming as we take another look at the kill by Sylvester.
And both teams, when they get the opportunity, they're running the middle. So far.
Murphy with the serve, hits the tape. No service error on Lauren Murphy. The lights just went on, and Jason Williams is saying right in the middle of when Murphy was trying to serve, the lighting in the arena changed. I'm not sure if they can do anything about that.
Yeah.
There are new LED lights here in the arena, so.
I don't know if there's something like.
Hendricks with the dig. Becca Kelly had it blocked. TCU could not keep it on the court.
And, you know, there's something to be said about running a fast offense, but I think when the opposing team knows that the set is going to go, like in that instance, to Becca Kelly, they're camping out. I think it's hard to run an uber fast set there, and I think Rosemary Archer recognized that. Hey, I got to give Becca Kelly a little bit more time there, something to work with.
Service error by Wyoming. Rotation change for the Horned Frogs. Sarah Sylvester out of the game. Ella Foti, the other setter for TCU. She'll serve here. Quick set in the middle. Foti. Hendricks pushed it over. Volpe. Kelly punched it over on the second attempt after the block, and Cowgirls come away with the point. Some quick hands in the middle that time by Sarah Quigley.
Yeah, I mean, you can see there Quigley. She really sells it. You know, she's running like she's going to set, and just quick with the double-handed dump over the net. You know, and she's kind of below the plane of the net, so it's hard to see.
Service error by Skylar Erickson. 6th service error for Wyoming.
Not really sure what's going on. I think there's a substitution. Either TCU has reached their maximum number of subs, or you know, I would say maybe it's too late to sub, but usually the refs, they'll let you do that. So some sort of substitution problem for TCU right now, because I
getting away.
Lose this match. Just not really kind of things. I don't do the matches here.
Maybe. I'm twisting the tail here. Actually bounced something now.
I call it, I don't care if I'm,
Yeah.